Welcome to the Militia gaming community. I'm Trigger, and today we talk about the 1955 Chevy Bel Air in Need for Speed Heat. Let's go! Real quick before I get into the video, if you're looking for information on any of my builds, I have all of that information on my website. It's militiagamingco.com. You can also get a link to our Discord where there's a bunch of people still playing Heat and level 50 crews, and you can find information on becoming a member. So head over to militiagamingco.com for all of your Militia Gaming Co needs. All right. Let's get into it. So this 1955 Bel Air has really only one engine option. I went through every single engine that it has, and the fastest engine is the most expensive engine. It's the 585 horsepower forged 4.7 liter V8. It was able to run a 304.8 on Arian and a 246.8 on Sonic. So these times are really not that good. This is a very heavy car. It's also a car that just doesn't handle properly. It just slides when it doesn't need to. It struggles regaining traction out of turns, especially the tight turns on Arian, and its gearing is just not set up for good racing. Like, the 5-speed gearbox is the best, but it really isn't great. So for track racing, not really a fan of this car. But that being said, if you do want to race it with your friends, use this track build. So we've got that 585 horsepower forged engine, Ultimate Plus engine parts with the Ultimate dual turbo, and the 5x3 pound NOS. Super track suspension, sport brakes, elite track tires, elite plus clutch, super 5-speed gearbox, super track differential, NOS refills and duration, and then steering sensitivity at +2, downforce at +3. And that's kind of weird. Usually you subtract the downforce a little bit to get more top speed, but in this case the rear end is very slidey, so you do need a little bit more downforce on the car. Traction control off and drift style on gas. All right, let's move on to the drag build. So this drag build is very mediocre. It is ranked 44 out of 131, so that's not too bad. It's got a 2.0 0-60 and an 8.7 quarter mile. So it's really not bad, but it's really not good either. But anyway, if you want to use it, here is the full drag build. It is that 585 horsepower forged engine again, Ultimate Plus engine parts, Ultimate dual turbo, 1x15 pound NOS, super track suspension, sport brakes, elite drag tires, elite plus clutch, super 5-speed gearbox, super track differential, NOS refills and duration, and then steering sensitivity you can leave at 2, and downforce, make sure you take that all the way down to -5. Traction control is off and drift style is on gas. All right, let's move on to the drift build. This is where I had a lot of fun. In actually testing this car, I went off and I started drifting on other sections and other places in the world because of how fun it is to drift this car. This is by far the best use for this particular car. It is a drift car all day long, and I hope to see someone in real life drifting this car around because it'd be so awesome. It just has so much torque to the rear wheels. It's light in the rear and it's heavy in the front, and it just feels perfect to drift. This is a great drift car, and it scores very, very well. On that drift section that's right outside the racetrack, I averaged 106,990. I mean, just try to get 106,000 with literally any other car. It is very difficult. Okay, maybe not the Mazda RX-7 because that is one of the best drift cars in the game, but other cars, it's very difficult to get to 100,000 on that particular drift zone. So anyway, this is a very good drift car. I think I've said that like 6 times already, but I'm just excited about it. It is definitely the build where this car is the best. So for the drift build, you want that 585 horsepower forged engine, Ultimate Plus engine parts, and the dual turbo with a 5x3 pound NOS. We got super speed cross suspension, sport brakes, elite drag tires, elite plus clutch, super 5-speed gearbox, pro drift differential, NOS refills and duration, and then of course steering sensitivity at 5, downforce at -5, traction control is off, and drift style is on gas. All right, lastly, let's take a look at the off-road build, and this build is second to the drift build. This is an actual good off-road car. It is number 17 on my list. It's ranked in the top 20 for off-road cars. This is a very good off-road car. As good as I thought the Mini Cooper was on one of the previous videos, this one is actually better. So it ran a 151.3 on HTV2 and a 312.6 on Rumble, and I bet you I can improve those times. Those are just the times that I did when I was testing, and I think if I go back and really focus on those times, I can get it down to 150 and change and like 311 or 310 and change. So this is a very good off-road car as well, but I would say it's just a little bit better drift car than it is an off-road car. So anyway, that being said, here is the full off-road build. It's that same engine parts, dual turbo, 5x3 pound NOS. That's standard. Super rally suspension, sport brakes, elite off-road tires, elite plus clutch, super 5-speed gearbox, super rally differential, and then NOS refills and duration. Steering sensitivity at 2, downforce at 4. So +4, so +2 on the steering sensitivity, +4 on the downforce. Traction control off, and drift style on gas. And with that, I'm gonna end the video. I really do appreciate everyone's support on this series. And if you'd like to support the channel even more than that, you can leave a super thanks on this video, or you can become a member. We have 2 different tiers. One's $5, one's $10, and you get all kinds of different perks like custom emotes during streams, badges next to your name while you're in the stream chat, and then members only posts and members only streams. So pick the tier that's best for you, and I appreciate all of the support. And shout out to all of the Heat 5 members of the channel. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me on this. Thank you so much, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Trigger out.